You look fine, Rob.
Okay. You're sure?
Air conveys trust.
All right. Hello and welcome to the 2015 VES Los Angeles Section Annual Report.
Though we only became a section a year ago, the Los Angeles section can also be considered the original section, comprised of many of the veteran members who founded the Visual Effects Society in 1997.
We've got about 1,300 members, and they cover an area from Los Angeles to Kern County, and from San Diego to Santa Barbara. That's a lot of coastline.
They also represent a wide range of disciplines. There's a lot more happening in Southern California than just movies. LA members also work in animation, commercials, games, television, themed entertainment, new media, virtual reality, scientific visualization, and software development. We are excited to have such a wide variety of work all being done right here in Southern California.
Our founding section managers have set a couple of key goals in our first year. The top priority is growing and celebrating the bonds of our local effects community.
Another goal is highlighting the diversity of visual effects work being done here.
Some of the events we held included networking mixers at Effects House Silvic Studios and at Walt Disney Imagineering, as well as an exclusive tour of Wet Design, a company that designs and manufactures amazing water fountains and installations throughout the world.
We are all committed to creating synergy with other sections and the Global Society. We were delighted to be the host city for this year's SIGGRAPH conference. Along with Global Society, we hosted the VES SIGGRAPH party and welcomed members from all over the world.
We also welcomed 50 new members into the section this summer with a highly successful new member reception, co-hosted by Art Temple Hollywood. Tell your non-member friends what the section is doing and encourage them to join. Maybe you'll see them at a future new member reception.
Our events committee is working hard on a few more events to complete the year, as well as preparing for the first ever LA Section Holiday Party.
This year it will be on December 14th, right here in Marina del Rey.
Look for an announcement soon with all the event details, and join us if you're in town for the holidays.
To better serve our members, we are in the process of creating a series of short surveys that are intended to help us better understand our growing and diverse membership.
And we'll soon be rolling out our new social media communication platforms, including a forum which will encourage member-to-member communication.
We're thrilled to be the new kid on the block and join with our fellow sections to serve the membership of the Society. Thank you to all the volunteers who freely give their time to create the numerous events and services for the members.
And to all the members who take the time from their busy schedules to join us at screenings and events throughout the year.
If you're a Los Angeles Section member and you're interested in helping out, or if you have ideas on how we can better serve you, just reach out to us using the email address info@veslosAngeles.com.
Lastly, if you are interested in joining the leadership of the section, consider running for a position as a section manager during our election in January.
We look forward to seeing all our society members at the VES Award Show in February and at SIGGRAPH in Anaheim next year.
For now, this is the VES Los Angeles Section Report signing off. Thanks for watching.
And now back to business.
This is hard.
Our events committee is also working,
Creating a series of surveys.
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, and it's showing up because the light's hitting your face.
Of our visual effects being worked.
Oops.
I think that's Susie's dog. Don't worry, I got this. Okay, we're good to go.
Can I talk now?
All right, thanks to Van Ling for putting that report together. For anybody who might actually be watching this video, I'm Rob Engel. It says so right underneath me. We're trying something new this year. I'm the first of all, I'm the section chair, at least I currently am, for the Los Angeles section. We have two orders of business we're going to try and do tonight. One is we're going to kick off our annual section manager election. And the second is we're going to have a section meeting to discuss any issues that people might have or want to talk about with regards to the LA section and what we're doing. Real quick background on the election. The LA section was formed last year, 2014, or excuse me, the end of 2014. And at the time, we had an election where we filled our board of managers with 10, actually it was 11 people at the time, with 2-year terms. Well, it turns out that the section policy as set up is designed so that everybody kind of, the whole, or half of the board turns over once a year, so that everybody has 2-year terms, but they're sort of alternating 2-year terms. And this is consistent with what is done with the Society Board of Directors as well. So we had a little bit of a snafu, and we figured out what we were going to do. And basically what we ended up doing was 5 of the section managers volunteered to step down and to allow us to effectively rejigger our ranks. And what we're going to do tonight is we're effectively electing 5 people to replace those 5. Now, 3 of those people that stepped down have decided that they loved it so much that they're running again. So what we have tonight is we're going to be kicking off our election. It's going to be an election for 5 seats on this board, on the section board of managers, and we have 11 candidates. So I'm going to read off really quickly who those candidates are, and then I'll go a little bit over the procedures tonight. So our candidates for manager are Stephen Blasini, Robert Coleman, Joan Collins, John Decker, Pam Hogarth, Jean Kozicki, Van Ling, Kevin Pike, Michael Ramirez, Teft Smith, and Dominic Spina. Did I say that right? I'm getting it close enough. Dominic will say his own name in his video. So anyway, what we're going to do, hey, John. What we're going to do is each person is going to have 2 minutes to come up here, talk a little bit about themselves, try and convince whoever's watching, whoever's in the room, to vote for them. For those who are in the room, if you want, you can cast a paper ballot, which we will hold on to. And if you don't cast a vote in the online election, we will count your paper ballot. That's about it. So we'll get started with candidate statements. Are there any questions? Did what I say make sense? John Decker. Mr. Stetson. Mr. Stetson. Mark has a procedural question. Go ahead. I'll repeat the question for the thing. I don't believe that there is in the policy. He's saying yes. I don't remember seeing one, but I could be wrong. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. Okay, 3. I'm hearing 3 consecutive terms. I think we'll figure that out when we get to it. I love your thinking. That is an excellent question. I hope we don't have. I'm sorry. The question was basically, are there term limits, and how does this people who are only serving for 1 year, essentially, how does that affect term limits? And I think what we decided was basically, let's seed the process and get the alternating board stuff worked out first. And I should add that everybody who has decided to step down, as I said, there were 5 of them, we have offered that they can continue to advise the board. They are still welcome in the discussions. They're still welcome to, in all aspects. They're just not officially voting managers, in anything that might be an official vote. And that is in respect. That's sort of respecting the fact that they were elected for 2-year terms. For future sections that are created, I would recommend that the society come up with a better system so that we don't have this problem. But this is how we decided to solve it. We decided that we would just jump right in and we would get the ball rolling with swapping things up. Bob Coleman has a question. When does the vote begin and how long is the vote? The vote is going to start tonight as soon as I can get home and get the candidate statements out. and we're going to run it through Sunday night, which is the 31st of January. 3 days. Yes, you can. You can submit your ballots tonight. You just fill one of these out, and you'll. Yeah, I think one of the challenges is basically we need to get this thing going. I believe the policy says that January 31st is the date, or January is when this has to happen. So we got to move. And you know what? People can get the email, and they can do something with it. We'll be clear about the deadline, though, in the email. We'll make it nice and big. Pam Hogarth. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go over the procedures offline for those who are voting tonight. But yes, we do have a procedure to make sure that people don't vote twice. This isn't Chicago. We can talk about that afterwards. I mean, obviously, we haven't sent out the ballots, so I can talk to the chair of the society is here, and if he's okay with us extending it, that's totally fine. I don't really care. I'm just trying to follow the letter of the policy, which says the election has to happen in January. Gene Kazicki.
Which of the existing managers are remaining?
Oh, okay. Good question. So of the 11 initial managers, the 5 remaining managers are myself. I will finish out this term. Tony Pace Karstensen, Lopsy Schwartz, Susan Zwerman, and Matt Beck. And the people that are stepping down are Ruth Hauer. Actually, she left earlier in the year. Richard Edlund. Van Ling is running again. Pam Hogarth is running again. John Decker is running again. And did I say Richard Edlund already? Barry Sandrew, thank you. So Barry is stepping down and not running again. Mike Chambers.
I'd just like to thank Van and Pam and all the board members who took that step to just help the section work through this little snafu of how we set it up in the first place. I think that's
yeah. So we're acknowledging the people who volunteered to step down, and again, we will make sure that they continue to advise the board. So with that, I'm going to start the process of candidate statements. Each candidate is going to have 2 minutes to speak. Tony, our Secretary-Treasurer, has got a colored card system. Green will mean you've had 1 minute to speak, or 1 minute left. Yellow will mean you have 30 seconds left. And what does red mean? Shut up. Okay. All right. Well, the first candidate was not able to be here in person, so I'm going to run his video. The first candidate, we're just going alphabetically, everybody. The first candidate is Stephen Blazzini.
Oh, hey guys! My name is Stephen Blazzini, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to run for a seat on the board. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but this might be an even better situation because you can see me in my native habitat. This is my work area, and I got, you can come over here and see our render farm. And you can also check out how we've been very active with the VES for many years. And you can even get a glimpse here at this book that I'm going to be at a book signing this Saturday because I'm featured in the visual effects section on this book on independent filmmaking. Anyway, oh, and that's my Jupiter too. So why do I want to run for the VES board seat? Well, you have all the technical stuff on the sheet that you got, but as far as I'm concerned, I've wanted to do visual effects since I was single-digit age, since easily 6-7 years old. I knew about Lydecker and Abbott before I knew about algebra. So this has been a dream of mine all my life, and now that I've achieved it, together with my wife, we have our own visual effects studio for the last 15 years. We've been very successful, knock on glass. And what better way to pay back than to be involved with a society that completely devotes itself to visual effects, like the VES. So I love to collaborate, and I love to do whatever we can as a team to move our industry forward. So if you want my my energy and my enthusiasm in there, vote for me, and I won't let you down. Thanks.
All right, our next, whoa, hey, hold on. The next candidate statement will be Bob Coleman, and I'll fix that before you come up. Do we have ballots we can hand out right now? Hold on 1 second, Bob. Let's just let her. No worries. Okay, we're going to take half a second to pass out ballots. Do you have pens? Look at you guys. We're super prepared here at the VES Los Angeles section. Section. You see that it's, Bob, you see it's better to be kind of on this side so you don't stand here. Stand here.
Stand over here.
Yeah. All right, Bob Coleman.
Well, good evening, everyone. So this is kind of an interesting situation that I get to maybe introduce myself in ways that I've never done before. Most of you know me as the founder and owner of Digital Artists Agency. For 18 years, I've represented visual effects artists in motion pictures, entertainment television, commercials, games, and now new media, all kinds of other, as Van alluded to. Prior to that, I'm from Chicago, started out as a motion picture camera technician, spent 14 years as a camera technician, ran a Victor Duncan Incorporated out of Chicago, motion picture rental company. And then in 1991, I was hired by George Lucas to run Skywalker Sound South. And I came out here and learned the theatrical motion picture sound business, which was quite an experience. And then I went back into video post-production, president of Digital Magic, president of 525, vice president of Encore Visual Effects, started the visual effects division at Encore Hollywood, and then started my own agency. And then I was always very active in the board of VES. I currently chair the awards committee. I co-chair the BLLC committee with Ray Scalise. I'm very dedicated and passionate to this society. More importantly, I think the new LA chapter presents some great opportunities for Los Angeles, which is changing. Our feature business is not what it used to be. LA is changing, but is still the bedrock of a tremendous brain trust of people, but it is also attracting a lot of new people into the business that sadly are not a part of VES. Los Angeles and VES has a phenomenal opportunity to reinvent itself, and I want to help do that. And I appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Up next will be Joan Collins, excuse me, and after her will be John Decker.
Say when. Hello, people of the visual effects section of the world. I'm Joan Collins. I'm not going to try to do a hard sell. I just want to let you know a little bit about myself. Thanks for this platform for letting me talk up here. It's rare. I know. Some people got that. But anyway, I started at SIGGRAPH in Seattle, I think in 1979. Came down here and worked with John Whitney Sr. at UCLA. I went to Able. I did laser media. I oscillated lasers on big mountains, and who cares? But really, I have met so many great people in this industry. And I'm just so honored, really, to have been able to have this huge opportunity that I've had you know, since 1980 till now, I have not let go of SIGGRAPH, and I'm so glad VES came to the round, and that if there's anything I could do, it would be my complete honor to help and serve you all between productions, of course. Thank you. Bye.
All right, and John Decker.
I'm John Decker. So I'm the first person who's currently on the board that's running for re-election, I guess. I think the first year for us was interesting because we were figuring out what it means to be the Los Angeles section that composes roughly almost half of the VES membership. And we sort of went through some struggles of what are we going to call ourselves and can we have a logo and all of that. And so I think now we're really getting into the meat of, you know, for this next year, what can we really do to improve the lives of visual effects people in Los Angeles. My main project has to try and get a functioning job board that actually works and sort of serves the LA, Southern California area. So I'm hoping to complete work on that and sort of get that further along, and then also build a directory of companies so that productions have an idea of who's eligible for the new California tax credits. So that is what I'm hoping to do if I'm reelected. Thank you.
Up next is Pam Hogarth.
Are you ready to listen, Mike? Okay. Hi, I'm Pam Hogarth. I am the second person that has been proud to serve on the Board of Managers for the LA section this last year, and am running in hopes that you guys will vote for me again and re-elect me because I'm very much looking forward to helping the section grow. I've worked for several years to get us an LA section and was thrilled when we finally got the okay to do so. I've been involved with the society since year one. I think this is my 8th term on the board of directors. I've been on multiple committees, education committee primarily. I'm co-chairing that with Susan O'Neill right now. That's a big part of my background, even though I started in this business by answering the phones at Digital Productions when they were working on The Last Starfighter. 25 years I've spent at least in educating people for careers or continuing careers in high-end computer graphics for entertainment. And I look forward to doing more of that. We have a very small education committee in the LA section. One of my goals is to help grow that. One of my other goals is to help bring some more new blood into the section and get people who haven't been involved and working, because that's what will keep us vibrant. I also hope to help educate our members who are seeing the job opportunities in feature get smaller and help them transition to other industries that need our skills. So I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Please vote for me.
All right, the next candidate statement will be from Gene Kazicki, and he will be followed by Van Ling.
Ready? Hi, I'm Gene Kazicki. I'm running for the LA Section Board of Managers. I've been in the visual effects business through Rhythm and Hues and VIFX and freelance for about 25 years now. I've been active in the Visual Effects Society since 2001. I have been served on multiple committees and also try to organize events which celebrate the artistry of what we do. I know we're all inspired by films. We were all inspired as youngsters to get into this field, and I believe that we need to continue celebrating our heritage and our artistry of our members. I think that the LA area has undergone a great transformation, but there's still a tremendous amount of firepower left in this town, particularly in the areas of television and video games, and there's all sorts of unique opportunities that come out of that. I would like to see the LA section be more active and get more members doing things, meeting each other, networking, because it really is the key to getting things done and getting ahead. And I will also do my utmost to make sure that Van Ling still stays involved in the society doing videos like the ones we just saw. That, in fact, will be my platform. And that's it. I appreciate your vote, and thank you very much.
All right, and Van Ling.
You realize, of course, that if you're not going to vote for me, you don't need to vote for Gene, apparently. So I'll make things a little easier for you. Hi, I'm Van Ling. I've been a member of the VES for 15 years, more than 15 years, and been involved with the board for at least 12 of those years. And, you know, the LA section was formed over a year ago because it gave the Visual Effects Society the ability to then advocate for this large proportion of its membership that is here in Southern California without stepping on the toes of our fellow sections. And I think that's a great thing. And while this action could have the effect of kind of splitting us, dividing us into little regional fiefdoms, I really think that we have an opportunity here to strengthen our sense of global camaraderie. I think that we here in Southern California have the opportunity to create and to demonstrate the kind of community, the kind of diverse community that we want the Visual Effects Society to be as a whole. And even as the society grows and expands to all sorts of places around the world, I believe that community begins locally. And we have one of the broadest and most experienced group of members living and working right here in movies and television, theme parks, games, and the web. And we are also central hub for Hollywood, for the studios and networks and many of the companies that employ our services and our talents. But in a society that's a microcosm of the entire industry, whose members are comprised of everyone, from artists in the trenches to visual effects facility owners and supervisors, studio management, producers, and even publicists and agents, I believe we need to focus on what unites us instead of what could divide us. And despite the economic challenges, we have a vibrant and robust effects industry here and hundreds of experienced practitioners right here. And we have a mandate to look after our section. This is why our section exists and how we contribute to the society as a strong and active group. One last thing. The reason I'm running, to work with a combination of wide experience, fresh ideas, and sincere enthusiasm that I see not only on the section board that I had the honor to work with, but in every good visual effects practitioner, young or old, in our section, in our society, our craft, and our industry. And most importantly, I wish to do what I know we all know visual effects can do, to make people believe, to inspire, to galvanize, and to make a positive difference. I think that's why most of us got into this crazy business. Thanks for your support.
All right, and our next candidate is Kevin Pike. He'll be followed by Mike Ramirez.
Hello, and how do you do? I'm Kevin Pike. Everything that I'm about to talk about can be probably distilled down into the fundamentals of I've done everything I can in my entire career to help serve the effects community in every way I can and promote all of our people in the entire industry for all of the time I've been here. I start my 43rd year in April. I served and got invited to join the Oscar Academy before we even had a branch, and helped form that, put that together, and I've served on the executive committee ever since, making sure that the right people get vetted and the right people are on the ticket, and I've been very responsible in my duties there. For 4 years as the EMEA governor of the branch, I helped set up the before and afters. And again, I made sure that the right people got on the ticket to do the right thing and to make sure that they got on the nomination as they needed. Also, I hosted SIGGRAPH events while I was there. I also moderated a panel on previs and storyboards for television. And I do keep my finger on the pulse, enjoying the seminars and events like Sparks in Vancouver and things like that. I also, for BAFTA, do the same. They rely on my help, and I make sure that they get the right American names properly in the UK ticket. Now, as an agent, I help obviously promote the cause and help employ and get work for affects people all around. I've always been involved in our guilds as a member of the DGA and as a SAG-AFTRA, and now I'm just eager and available to help and ready to serve VES section. And if you're interested in my services, by all means, please check my name. Thank you very kindly.
All right, thank you, Kevin. And Mike Ramirez is next.
Hi, I'm Mike Ramirez. I've been a visual effects artist for the last 20 years, just completed my 20th year. I started at a little visual effects house called Buena Vista Visual Effects. And I started as an intern, worked after I had a job as an accountant, so I knew I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be in visual effects, so I decided I would start by interning at Disney at Buena Vista. And after doing that for about 4 or 5 months, they eventually hired me. And since then, it's been an up and down ride. But it's been a wonderful ride. I've really enjoyed it. I've been a member of the Visual Effects Society for about 14 years. I'm on the awards committee for the last 10. And also I served 1 term for the board of directors. The reason I got into visual effects and into entertainment in general was that I have a passion for entertainment. My brother has been working in the industry for about 40 years. And it just seemed to be kind of part of my blood. I'm a 5th generation native Los Angelino. And I love this town. Entertainment is part of this town. It's what created such, a vibrant lifestyle here. It's through the entertainment. And, I guess you would call me a little more LA-centric in that case, but I feel that, we have to remember those roots in Hollywood and preserve them and keep them strong. I also see that there's a lot of changes that have gone on in our industry over the years, and it's different now, but there are lots of opportunities and lots of growth ahead of us, and I want to be a part of that and nurture that through the LA section. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Our next 2 candidates, the last 2, were not able to be here tonight, so they sent pre-recorded messages. The first of those is Teft Smith.
Hi, my name is Teft Smith. Sorry I can't be there in person, but my wife and I are expecting our first child, so exciting times for us. I am currently a visual effects, previs, and post-viz supervisor for Halon. I have been director of education at Noman, and I've also worked on the box for over 16 years as an artist. I believe that the Visual Effects Society is an amazing asset for all people in the visual effects industry. I think it brings us tools, education, and knowledge, but I do feel that we are lacking on a younger clientele. I think that the one thing I would like to do if I was to become one of the managers is to really focus on trying to bring a younger group of artists and individuals into our society. I think the LA section is one of the top sections because we are in the home of where the visual effects industry is. And I think that we have a lot of benefits to living in Los Angeles as far as events and movies and just productions and everything. I think we should really take advantage of that. But I really feel that as far as a tool that the Visual Effects Society has always offered, I think we really need to start to bring more light on the technical aspects of how the visual effects are being done. Me personally, I love always knowing the hows and how-tos that the compositors and the 3D artists and the modelers and their way of doing certain techniques. And I think if we were to have more events based on that and more about knowledge, it will really open up a lot of artists to want to join the society. So I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for allowing me to run for the manager position. Have a great day. Thanks.
I think that's how the video was delivered. Ooh, cool. I'm going to keep that because I like it. The last candidate is Dominic Spina. I feel like Jeff Oken trying to pronounce Kaziki.
What team is he playing for and what position?
Spina. My background is in software development, and over the course of my career, I have managed the development of a variety of content creation applications, visual effects tools, and studio pipeline tools for several companies, including Digital Domain, Sony ImageWorks, and NVIDIA. First, I would like to thank the current board members for a great year of events, parties, and get-togethers that they arranged in 2015. I participated as a volunteer on the events committee for the Los Angeles section last year, and it has been a great experience working with Rob and the other board members. So this year, I would like to get even more involved by participating as one of the managers. I would like to help support aspects of our mission statement that are vital to the welfare of our members. Firstly, I would like to help continue to educate our members. I believe in this ever-changing business environment where technology is advancing so rapidly, our members need to be on the forefront of innovation and to continue to gain industry recognition that they deserve. Sharing our knowledge and expertise with each other is vital and will only help us push the boundaries of our creativity and make our society even stronger. I would like to see us give our members access to even more training and informational seminars. Secondly, I would like to help define future projects that will help foster community. We have a very diverse group of members, from artists to producers to directors to studio owners, and I think it's important to create more networking events that will bring them all together, not only with each other, but with other societies and organizations, in order to strengthen our voice in the entertainment industry. It is important that everyone understands how much we as an organization contribute to box office bottom lines and advertising dollars. As an industry consultant, my schedule allows me the freedom to attend monthly meetings, participate in committees, and continue to volunteer to help run events. So again, I thank you for this opportunity, and I hope that you all have a good night. Hi everyone. Sorry I can't be there tonight, and thank you for this opportunity to be considered for a position as one of the Los Angeles board managers. I've probably met or at least crossed paths with many of you over the last 13 years that I have been an active member at the Visual Effects Society. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Dominic Spina. My background is in software development, and over the course of my career, I have managed the development of a variety of content creation applications, visual effects tools, and studio pipeline tools for several companies, including Digital Domain, Sony ImageWorks, and NVIDIA. First, I would like to thank the current board members for a great year of events, parties, and get-togethers that they arranged in 2015. I participated as a volunteer on the events committee for the Los Angeles section last year, and it has been a great experience working with Rob and the other.
All right. I'm just glad we made it all the way to the end of the video. I don't mind the fact that it looped. Okay, so that is all of our candidates. As far as procedures go, if you guys want to cast your ballots tonight, again, the idea is that you select no more than 5 on your ballot that you have with you. You'll seal it in an envelope, put your name clearly on the envelope so that should we subsequently find out that you voted in the online election, we will tear up the paper ballot and throw it away. And that's pretty much it. We'll talk about the timing of the election after this. You'll see it in the announcement tonight, what the timing is going to be. Question from Bob Coleman.
So we have the option to vote online or do this.
That is correct. You can either vote online or paper. If you don't trust technology, then vote on a piece of paper and give it to us. But if you vote in both, your online vote will be the one that will count. If you do not vote online, the one you submit tonight will be the one that counts. If you do not vote online or in the room, you did not vote. All right. If there are no other questions, Joan, did you have a question? We will send that out in an email that will hopefully go out tonight. My goal is that tonight, and you have to understand that this is mostly a one-man band to do a lot of this kind of stuff. I should say that the actual execution of the election is being handled by myself and Tony. Tony is the secretary-treasurer, so it's really in her bailiwick, and then I'm here to help her execute it, and additionally, we're checks and balances against each other. So it's a small group that's doing this, and your patience is much appreciated in figuring out how to get this done. But we are taking this very seriously, that this is, the opportunity for more members to get involved. I should say, and I want to say very clearly, that for those who do not get elected, there should be 6 of you, unless there's a tie. There should be 6 of you who do not get elected. We still want you involved. The strength of this section and this society lies in our volunteers. So many of you know that because you've been doing it already. But I was listening to the candidate statements, and I was thinking, wow, this is really great. We have all these great candidates. I was also thinking, why would anybody want to do this? Because it's so much work. But I think we get out of it, what we see in the room here. So thank you for running. Thank you for being here. Thank you for voting. Rather than taking a break to do election stuff, this is the part where we get to talk about section issues, if there are any. We wanted to do some quick announcements on our end. The one was one that I kind of already touched on, which is, hey, we're looking for volunteers. We're looking for people to help move our events forward. Our events committee chairs right now are Susie and Lopsy, and they are a powerhouse, but they're only 2 people, and we need help in bringing more events. I keep hammering, we need to have an event every month and a half to 2 months. Well, that's a lot of work. Creating events like the WDI event, creating events like the ZOIC event, thank you again, Mr. Stetson. Creating those events is a lot of work. And so for a second, I want to acknowledge their contribution. So thank you, Susie and Lopsy. But also acknowledge that, they need help. And one of the things that we've talked about that I want to let you guys know about is there's what I call traditional events that we do, and those are sort of the screenings and the educational events, and let's go to somebody's facility and see what they're doing. But we've also talked about doing sort of out-of-the-box kinds of events. Some of them that might be more fun, might be more family-oriented, might be more community-driven, more, let's bring the people together who maybe can't come out on a school night for one reason or another, but they might want to go train for a marathon or do a picnic or whatever. So, we need those kinds of people too. It can't be just all, the one thing. We've got plenty of room in LA to do a lot of things. So I'm hoping that if any of you are jazzed about the idea of let's do something different, volunteer. We also have a nation education committee, and currently chaired by Pam Hogarth, and they need volunteers as well. You heard Van and John talk about the job board. We're trying to figure out a way to help members here in LA find jobs within the LA area, and come up with a system that really works for the kinds of work that's being done here. So hopefully I've kind of covered the gamut of the type of stuff that we're doing. Are there any questions or any comments that people want to make? And if there are, I actually have another microphone so we can pass it around. It's still going out, yeah. I mean, I don't know if anybody's watching, but does that does that change what you'd say? I can turn it off. Let's talk about that offline. We'll figure out a way to solve that. Don't worry about that. The question from Mr. Coleman was, or it wasn't a question, it was more of a concern that we have too short a voting window. I think, just as an aside, I have looked at the email logs, and at least in terms of receiving the emails and opening them, the vast majority happens within the first 1 to 2 days. But I understand your concern about wanting to give people time. I have a concern about wanting to give people time to read the candidate statements, watch the videos, and decide what they want to do. So we'll find a way. It's So Van Ling has compared the view and vote process to the election. Both of them are important responsibilities for members of the society and the section, so I'm not going to diminish either of them. I know there's probably a lot of people right now watching the view and vote stuff. Any other issues? I'm going to pass this out just so we get it. I don't have to keep repeating things.
Talking for Susie. One of the other committees that we really would like to get going is a local benefits committee to come up with benefits within Los Angeles for our LA section members. So anybody that's interested in doing that, please let us know.
Excellent. Is Joan volunteering, or does Joan want to say something?
Right, I'm volunteering. And then I have just 2 issues that I think are LA-centric mostly because of one, how long ago we started in LA doing this stuff, and that thing called archives, and that thing called ticking clock, and the end of our life cycle. I'm just saying, archive your crap from the 80s before you leave the planet. One. And number 2, if you're planning on retirement, just within this community itself, there has been requests from above to please consider throwing down one of your lectures at, there's a whole lot of people in this town, the Latinos, the blacks, the hello women, that could really, really use some extra love and support, that they don't get the education that the rest of us were so honored, all of us lily white people that, I'm just saying.
Jean, are you still chair of the Archives Committee? Do you want to address anything about the need to archive and collect and all that?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a unique set of experiences, and, we need to really, in terms of the Archives Committee, my plan was to try and reach out to some of the other sections as well. LA is really good because there's still a high concentration of people who have done a lot of things, but we're also missing out on opportunities in London and New York particularly to talk about the effect that were done there in the 80s and before, and we need to involve those sections That is absolutely that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that we did talk when we first got together as managers early last year about sort of which things we wanted to take on, and I don't think that the LA section really specifically wants an archive, but I do think that how we can help the Archives Committee in reaching out to local members and interviewing them and so on, and doing the same thing in London, Yeah.
Yeah, the Archive Committee and the Archive Committee, the big Archive Committee needs to meet and just sort of finalize a standardized set of questions that we need to send out to people saying, hey, listen, if you're going to be able to get down and get 2 hours of time with someone who worked on, title design at R. Greenberg, in New York, or someone who worked on Alien in London, and you only get 2 hours of time, here is sort of some standardized questions to ask that are sort of common, so that we can track sort of the common experience of the visual effects artist, as well as something specific from key shows that they may have worked on. That is something that we need to do. The LA section, the Los Angeles, we house the Robert Abel Archive, which there's a logistical issue with just getting in there and physically being able to get into the space and sort through all of the boxes that the family has left us. And part of the logistical thing is we share that physical space with the office's archive, which has everything from view and vote in award submission materials going back to the very first awards, to programs, to monitors, to speakers, to stands, to all sorts of stuff. And so we need to, and that takes a physical effort, to get done and time, and we do need to do that.
Okay, but you're not allowed to ask for help for the archives committee at an LA section meeting.
I'm not?
No, I'm kidding. Of course you can.
Well, then.
You can't ask for global committees in a section meeting. It just doesn't work that way. It's like oil and vinegar. Okay, did anybody else? It is. Did anybody else have any comments, thoughts, questions that you want to bring up now in the official meeting thing? Of course, there's still the food outside, so there's not. We'll just turn off the microphones is what we're going to do. Come on up. I've got a Chiron thing for you.
Can I actually go like, it's right here? Woo, look at that. Okay. Oh, I don't like the angle of this. All right. Anyway, my name is Lopsy Schwartz. I am co-chair along with Susie Zwerman for the events committee. And I wanted to be on this video so that those who are watching from home to know that we would really like your participation and to help out with these events. Now, some of these, kind of things that a lot of people I know were short on time, and you go like, well, I'm not sure if I can help out very much. Sometimes what we need are people specifically just using your phones and taking pictures at an event so we could post them to our social media. You're going to be there anyway. It could be great if we knew that you're going to be the person that's going to actually go and do that. Also, we have wonderful people like Tony and Pam who've been manning our check-in desks along with Susie for almost every single event. We like to get some rotation in there, allow them to, be able to enjoy the event themselves too. So the more people we have, the easier it becomes for everyone. Oh, I was wondering how you got that new. So some of the things that we've talked about that we need people in order to have it come to fruition would be things like a family carnival during the summer, a barbecue and family carnival, something that we could somehow tie in with visual effects, but something that we could bring our families to, show them what we do, have fun meeting other families who are also in visual effects. Oh, you don't know your daddy either? No, just kidding. It's like my son is going like, who are you, Mommy? I haven't seen you. When is the deadline come? When will this be done? No. So other things like we have some series that are going on. We have a Women in Visual Effects Coffee Talk. It's a monthly series. Some of the other things we're looking into that there's a lot of interest in would be an independent film series. We have a lot of our members who are working on independent films, doing their own films. We like to showcase it, be able to have you talk about your films and have this as a regular series. But we need people to help this happen. If you have a film that you'd like to showcase, this would be a perfect opportunity. Other things are things like gallery showings, doing one annual gallery showing. A lot of people do other things other than what you do for the studios or for, what your actual, title or job may be. Maybe you do some painting, sculpture, other types of art that we can have in this gallery showing. And other things that, like Rob had mentioned, like a mud run or a 5K, having a Los Angeles VES team, and there's a lot of people who are doing this anyway. Let's make it a group and also, help reach those New Year's resolutions. So please, if you think you can contribute even just a little bit, even in just a couple of events, please contact us. What's the best email that we should use? info@VES Los Angeles. Please write to .com. Oh yeah. So some things that have happened this year are the pub nights. We plan to try to get those for social intermingling. And also we've had this series of things that we called cool things. And generally that has been a very interactive, interesting type of informative yet fun events. usually at a well-known place such as Zoic or Disney Imagineering, showing off some really cool things that we may not even know about, or showing some behind-the-scenes things and getting some hands-on time in there too. And usually this also involves food and drink, and you network, mingle. So it's a great time, and it's been very successful so far. Generally, pretty much filling up and having a waiting list type of thing. So these are some of the events we've done and that we hope to continue doing the next year. Is there anything else that I've... Great. All right. Well, thank you very much. For those watching at home, call me.
And I was just reminded that one of the other things that we're looking to do is we're trying to expand our web presence, social media, that kind of stuff. So we have a Twitter page or a Twitter handle. We have a Facebook page. We have an internal group that's intended to facilitate discussion amongst the members. We're working on trying to figure out how to roll that out, trying to get 1,300 people invited to a internal Facebook group. Turns out to be kind of problematic. But the main thing is, if there's anybody that's excited about doing that, we would love to talk to you. So again, the email address is info@veslosAngeles.com. It's in every e-blast that we send out, so you'll see it there. Are there any other questions or thoughts? All right. I did want to acknowledge really quickly Lopsy for all your work setting up the event tonight. I want to acknowledge Legend 3D for hosting us tonight. They have a lovely theater. And I think that's it. Any other things before I turn off the stream? Oh, actually, yeah, that's right. We'll run one more of Van Ling's specials. He put together a montage and of visual effects from the past year. So enjoy.